Hello my friends, some of you in my comments asked me questions. Where to get black powder, how to make black powder, what is black powder. So I decided to make a quick review of my favorite methods on black powder preparation. These methods do not require any special equipment, because I simply don't have it. And yeah, my black powder not as good as commercial, but is still suitable for all pyrotechnic purposes. So let's begin. At first need to prepare so-called millet powder. This is the simple mix of 3 ingredients: potassium nitrate, charcoal and sulfur. Need to say a few words about charcoal. I can make black powder from any charcoal, but results will be slightly different. For best fast-burning black powder you must use charcoal from soft woods. Charcoal from hard woods gives slower burning black powder. And activated charcoal is the worst charcoal for black powder. It consists of pure carbon and doesn't contain any unburnt organics that is absolutely necessary for making good fast-burning black powder. Another key point is grinding chemicals. Chemicals for black powder must be grinded to dust. For this purpose you can use mortar and pestle like I do, but much better option is to use blender or coffee grinder. But please, while using coffee grinder or blender, never grind all 3 ingredients together. It's very dangerous, your blender can explode in your hands, so just do not do this. Some people said that you cannot make good black powder without ball mill, meaning you cannot grind all ingredients as good as ball mill does. That's not true, you can make good black powder without ball mill, but you can't make a lot of black powder without ball mill. So after grinding all ingredients to a fine powder, I have so-called millet black powder. If I need to make a fuse or if I need to cover rocket candy granules with black powder, I'll just stop at this point. But to make black powder suitable for all other pyrotechnic purposes, like constructing shells or firing from mortars, or to make pyrotechnic mine, so for all these black powder must be granulated. So the next step is turning millet black powder into granulated black powder. So the first method to make granulated black powder. Dissolve a little amount of ping pong ball in acetone and add this solution to millet black powder. After mixing, solution must be like plasticine. If it looks like porridge, then just put it in bigger container and mix until some acetone will evaporate and your black powder will turn into a plastic mess. Then I put it on plastic bag and roll into a thin layer. Need to wait approximately half an hour until it dries and then grind it using mortar and pestle. Then I must divide this powder into fractions. I use different sieves for this purpose. So after sieving I have 2 different black powder fractions. My favorite fraction is in the middle. And also I have black powder dust. This method is super fast. I can make good black powder in less than 1 hour, but it's suitable only for small quantities, maybe no more than 50 grams. So method 2. In this method I am using 5% of dextrine for binding. Dextrine is the main pyrotechnic binder. It can be prepared from starch by heating it at 200 degrees by Celsius for several hours. I add 5% of dextrine to my millet black powder and a little amount of water. Not very much, just to turn this mix into a plastic mess. It must look like wet sand or soil. This mix can be granulated exactly as in the first method, but more effective will be to rub it through a sieve. After drying at room temperature, you must dry this black powder only at room temperature, otherwise potassium nitrate will recrystallize and your black powder will be very bad. So after drying at room temperature you'll have good black powder granules. However, granules obtained by this method are not so strong as using the first one, but I can make a lot of black powder using this method. Method 3. Boiling method. It's very similar to rocket candy preparation. The main difference here is that potassium nitrate must be dissolved in boiling water, so you don't need to grind it. Only charcoal and sulfur must be grinded to fine powder. After complete dissolution of potassium nitrate, I add the mixture of charcoal and sulfur. Then I just gently boil this mix until it granulates itself. Boiling must be gentle and temperature control is very desirable at this step. After granulation, black powder is still too wet, so it must be dried at room temperature for several days. This method has one modification called CIA method. In CIA method need to add chilled acetone in the end of the process to instantly cool the mixture. This leads to a formation of very small crystals of potassium nitrate. This method is better, and black powder obtained by this way can be as good as commercial and even better, depending on what charcoal was used and how good it was grinded. However, I am not currently using CIA method because mentioned 3 completely covered all my needs. Okay, let's make a little burning test. Black powder 1, black powder 2, black powder 3. The third is slightly worse, but this is not a big problem. Okay, thanks for watching, please subscribe, rate and comment.